What is malvertising? Malvertising, or malicious advertising, is a relatively new cyber attack technique that injects malicious code within digital ads. Difficult to detect by both internet users and publishers. These infected ads are usually served to consumers through legitimate advertising networks. Because ads are displayed to all website visitors, virtually every page viewer is at risk of infection. How does malvertising work? Malvertisements are spread through the internet, appearing on both illegitimate and legitimate websites. In many cases, an advertiser may not be able to tell the malvertisement is malicious, so they run it, thinking it is harmless. After the advertiser agrees to run the ad, it gets sent via a server to otherwise harmless websites. After a user clicks on the malvertisement, code starts running in the background, causing it to potentially download malware onto the user's computer. This is referred to as a drive-by download. In some cases, the user does not even need to click on the malvertisement for the drive-by download to be successful. As long as they load an infected web page or landing page, the malware can be downloaded. If someone clicks on malware, however, they may get sent to a different web page designed to exploit vulnerabilities in their browser when it displays ads. This type of exploit is different from an exploit kit, which is a malware hacking toolkit attackers use to try to take advantage of their victims' systems. How can malvertising harm me? Perhaps a more pertinent way to put that question is there really any chance it won't harm you? The answer is no. Because the bad guys behind malvertising have multiple illicit goals they pursue with dogged determination. They want to make money off you by stealing your identification data, your financial data, and your contact data, among other things. Other than outright stealing data, they can encrypt or delete information, alter or hijack core computer functions, and spy on your computer activity without your knowledge or permission. It all depends on what kind of programs the malvertising succeeds in downloading. The payloads can include malware, which is the umbrella term that describes any malicious program or code that is harmful to systems. Ransomware, the term for a form of malware that locks you out of your device and or encrypts your files, then forces you to pay a ransom to get them back. Ransomware has been called the cybercriminal's weapon of choice because it demands a quick, profitable payment in hard-to-trace cryptocurrency. The code behind ransomware is easy to obtain through online criminal marketplaces, and defending against it can be difficult. Spyware is malware that secretly observes the computer user's activities without permission and reports it to the software's author. Adware is unwanted software designed to throw advertisements up on your screen, most often within a web browser. Typically, it uses an underhanded method to either disguise itself as legitimate or piggyback on another program to trick you into installing it on your PC, tablet, or mobile device. A virus is the original malware that attaches to another program and, when executed, usually inadvertently by the user, replicates itself by modifying other computer programs and infecting them with its own bits of code. Most cybersecurity professionals agree that viruses today are more of a legacy threat than an ongoing risk to Windows or Mac users. That's because they've been around for decades and have not substantially changed. Malicious cryptomining, also sometimes called drive-by mining or cryptojacking, is an increasingly prevalent malware usually installed by a Trojan. It allows someone else to use your computer to mine cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Monero. So instead of letting you cash in on your own computer's horsepower, the cryptominers send the collected coins into their own account and not yours. So, essentially, a malicious cryptominer is stealing your resources to make money. How to avoid malvertising? Malvertising is extremely difficult to detect and avoid for both consumers and publishers. This is because of the incredible volume of digital ads being created and the rapid rate at which ads are circulated within a digital ad exchange. This means that publishers themselves often cannot directly oversee the ad verification and assessment process. Generally speaking, it is also very difficult for cybersecurity experts to identify exactly which ad is malicious because the ads on a web page constantly change. Further, most malvertising attacks require the user to interact with the infected ad. This means that not every website visitor will be affected by a malicious ad, which makes it more difficult to narrow down the offending advert. While difficult to prevent infection from a malvertisement, users can take steps to reduce their risk. Ensure that all software and extensions, including web browsers, are up to date. Install antivirus software and ad blockers to reduce the risk of running a malicious advertisement. Avoid using Flash and Java or allowing these programs to run automatically when surfing the web. Publishers have a responsibility to protect their visitors from malvertisements. Steps they can take include: thoroughly evaluate third-party ad networks that will be responsible for selecting, vetting, and running ads. Scan ad creative intended for display to discover malware or unwanted code. Avoid the use of JavaScript or Flash in ads. Engage a trusted cybersecurity partner to offer customized recommendations based on the organization's digital advertising activity. Identification of malvertisements. Ads that look sloppy or unprofessional. Ads with spelling mistakes. Ads that have unrealistic promises, such as amazing cures. Ads talking about celebrity scandals. Any ad that advertises something that is too good to be true. Ads that do not seem to align with your recent search activity. Malvertisements with or without user interaction. Common malvertisements generally need user interaction in order for the malwares to be downloaded in a victim's system or infect the victim/user's system. User interaction can be victims clicking on an unsafe malicious advertisement. Following attacks or things that might happen on users viewing or interacting with malvertisements. Download or installation of malwares on the computer or systems viewing those malicious advertisements. Redirect the user or victim to a malicious site. Some advanced malvertisements can affect or cause harm to a user without user interaction. Malvertising might perform the following attacks on users viewing the malvertisements without clicking it. A drive-by download installation of malware or adware on the computer of a user viewing the ad. This type of attack is usually made possible due to browser vulnerabilities. Force redirect of the browser to a malicious site. Displaying unwanted advertising, malicious content, or pop-ups beyond the ads legitimately displayed by the ad network. This is done by executing JavaScript. How to identify malvertisements. Can we tell which advertisements are authentic and which might be dangerous for us? As hackers' techniques are more and more advanced, we can't immediately notice if an ad is legitimate or not. If you understand what is malvertising by now, you can probably tell how much a malicious ad can look like a legitimate one. Nevertheless, there are a few things we can do that will minimize the risk derived from a malvertising attack. Don't click on ads promising things that are hard to believe, such as miraculous cures. The rule says if it sounds too good to be real, most likely it is. Ads must look like they were created by a professional graphic designer. If they don't click on it. Don't click on ads that have spelling errors. Don't click on ads that don't correspond to your recent typical search history. Even if hackers mainly attack Windows users, a malvertising campaign focused on a browser or plugin can definitely infect a Mac, Chromebook, Android phone, or iPhone. Mobile devices can be even more affected by a malvertising campaign since the majority of people aren't as cautious or have the same protection that they normally have on their computers. What makes a mobile device a prime target for malvertising is the fact we are always using it for shopping, guidance, messaging, and so on. Malware insertion techniques. Attackers or people with malicious intent use several delivery mechanisms to insert their malicious codes into advertisements. Malwares in advertisements calls. When a website shows a page featuring an ad, the ad exchange delivers advertisements to the user through a variety of third parties. An attacker can compromise one of these third-party servers, who can attach malicious code to the ad payload. Post-click malware injection. Users who click on an ad are typically redirected between multiple URLs, ending with the ad landing page. If any of the URLs along this delivery path are compromised by an attacker, they may execute malicious code. Malware in text or banner advertisements. Malware may be found in a banner ad or text message. For instance, an ad can be delivered in HTML5 as a combination of images and JavaScript, which may contain malicious code. Malware within a pixel of an image. The pixels are embedded with codes in an advertisement call. A legitimate pixel sends data to the server for tracking purposes. If an attacker intercepts a pixel's delivery path, it can send a response, containing malicious code, to the user's browser. Malware within the video. Video players don't protect against malware. Examples can be videos based on Flash or specific video formats such as VAST. Video format VAST contains pixels from third parties, which could contain malicious code. Videos based on Flash can inject an iframe into the page, which downloads malware, even without having the user click on the video. Flash files might also load a pre-roll banner, and attackers can inject malicious code into the pre-roll banner. And it can run even without the user clicking on the video. Malvertisements, mitigations, and best practices. Antivirus software can protect against some drive-by downloads or malicious code executed by malvertisements. Ad blockers offer good protection against malvertising, because they block all ads, together with their malicious elements. Using browsers that block ads or have an ads-free experience by default, such as Brave, Clicks, etc. Avoiding the use of Flash and Java can protect users from many vulnerabilities that are commonly exploited by malvertisements. Updating browsers and plugins can prevent many malvertising attacks, in particular those which operate before the user clicks the advertisements. Visit only secure and known websites. Resist clicking on ads, even if they appear to be from reputable companies or businesses. Follow news about compromised websites and potential malvertising campaigns to protect yourself from known malvertising threats.